Till that in 1987, Kenneth Parks drove 20 kilometers in his sleep before attacking and killing his mother-in-law and injuring his father-in-law. He woke up on the way home and turned himself in. He was later found not guilty. There's apparently a bit more to the story that casted doubt in the sleepwalking claim for many people. He was embezzling money from work and his family around that time to pay gambling debts. For me personally, it smells like inheritance could have the motive, but the dad fighting him off threw a wrench into that plan. I wouldn't be surprised if he already thought of the sleeping-walking claim ahead of time if he was eventually caught or failed. CA 2006 1027 man acquitted of sleepwalking murder running for school trustee in Durham. I feel like there has to be some deep-rooted psychological connection, though, outside of anything to do with the legalities of the case itself. Why didn't they instead cut their grass or cook them a meal? I understand the legal reasoning for the acquittal, but from the human behavior standpoint, WTF? Though one could always argue he was reacting to a dream for which he had no memory. The aftermath marriage, treatment for any reactions he had to living with the knowledge, physical health would be its own area of study. Well, that sucks. I've sleepwalked a few times in my life. Once moved floors and locked some people outside of their room while sleeping, no alcohol involved, and the other time I put mine and GF's cat to the balcony. No idea why poor kitty woke us up later begging to be left back, and he was a strictly indoors cat. Also the occasional waking up in the middle of sex. I'm curious how they could possibly know and prove that he was sleepwalking at the time of the murders. The page says specialists agreed it was a case, but I just can't imagine how they could figure that out. There's a difference between being known to sleepwalk and knowing that someone walked at a specific time in the past. Some people jump out of 10-story windows to escape the goblins chasing them in their nightmares. The brain chemistry that temporarily paralyzes you during sleep so you don't act out your dreams or nightmares can malfunction due to faulty genetics. Makes for confusing trials. I remember reading somewhere that a simple task such as eating from the fridge at night while sleepwalking can happen. Killing someone after a multitude of tasks is too complex and the person was punished. Maybe it was a different case? Or am I misremembering? Yeah, this fucking creepy. I once got dressed, walked out of my hotel room, down the elevator, out of the lobby and stood on the sidewalk for a couple of minutes before waking up once. I once drove 40 miles while asleep. Fell asleep after I started driving and woke up parked in a spot at work. I stopped doing the opening shift after that. Man, imagine the guilt he had for the rest of his life. Even though he was sleepwalking, knowing that he had killed a family member is harrowing. If the guy killed somebody in his sleep, then he's not safe to let out in public and should therefore be locked up for the rest of his life. I had to Google to see when Ambien became available, 1992, because this definitely sounded like something the walrus would do. Blatant bullshit too. Dude was embezzling money to pay off gambling debts. But 1987 judges were fucking wild, I guess. Stuff like this, the Texas shooter's brain tumor, ect. Fill me with no small amount of existential fear. I have been sleepwalking since early childhood. Still do. I leave the house and everything. It's scary. So next time I get caught speeding I can say I was sleep driving? Or is only sleep killing legal? Holy shit. Kenneth Parks, class of 2004? Guess he didn't get that analyst job at Brewster Keegan. There are similar cases where people are found guilty. It's kind of a crapshoot with a jury. Till there's a lot of innocent people in prison and even more people that never got caught. I'm calling shenanigans on this, or I'm sleepwalk my way into a brain struck. Do you have to sleep in a special room or something afterwards? I need details, people. So then if someone is blackout drunk when they kill someone, do they get off? For his next trick he baked a beef Wellington with a mushroom sauce. I feel like there are a lot of missing air quotes in this title. I do this case with my law class in high school. They love it. I sleepwalk all the time. This is why I do not own a firearm. This is how you end up at work school without any pants on.